Okay, one question that Vince and I as fitness professionals always get is, well, how do I build my lower pecs, or how do I build my upper pecs? I guess it's kind of something you want to think about, guys. There's two muscles in the pec. There's a pec major and there's a pec minor. If you're looking to build your lower pec, basically it just means you're not contracting your muscle properly. You're not initiating with the muscle. So again, we're going to slow down, contract, use intention, and these muscles are going to come. There's not any particular way to build your lower pec versus your upper pec. Obviously, manipulating the angle and incline is great, better for the upper chest, but it's more about execution, the way you break it down. So if you're trying to build your upper chest, shorten your abs. Trying to build your lower chest, decline is great. Decline is actually the best way to fire the greatest number of muscle fibers within the muscle. So it's a great idea to start with a decline exercise. Another question we get is order, execution. What order should we be doing these things in? Really, really important question. I mean, we like to change it up. Obviously, very important to change it up. But obviously, there is, believe it or not, an order that is physiologically or neurologically more important. And all that means is neurologically basically means the nervous system fires muscle fibers within a muscle. So we're trying to get as many muscle fibers firing within a workout as possible. You start with an exercise that's on a decline or a flat is actually going to fire more muscle fibers in that pec than an incline one is. That's a question Vince and I get a lot as fitness professionals is, how do I build my lower pec or how do I build my upper pec? Guys, at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. We all know we can do incline, we all know we can do flat, but if you're not using the exercises properly, you're not initiating with the proper muscle as we spoke about, you're not going to be firing any muscle fibers. You're going to be using your triceps, you're going to be using your shoulders. Now, another thing to keep in mind is your pecs are a significantly larger muscle group. So if you get those muscles firing properly, guess what? Your strength goes up. Right. If you're trying to do a bench press with your triceps, it's a small muscle, you're going to be weak. You're going to be weak as a kitten. You want to get strong, you need to use your big muscles. Same idea with back. You want to use your biceps to pull a weight, or you want to use your back? It's a larger muscle, it's going to use more weight. Do it right. All right, so I'm a huge advocate of body weight exercises. So when Vince came to me, I said, Vince, I want you to become very familiar with your body weight, very familiar with your body weight exercises, very comfortable with doing them. I want you to master them. That's what I said to Vince. So for Vince, it was pull-ups, push-ups, squats, lunges, and dips. We had 5 exercises. So Vince, this is one of the exercises I said to Vince, I want you to get good at, but I don't want you to overdo it. Now there's a reason. Vince said, well, why do you say that? Because he really likes doing dips and he likes strapping some extra weight on his his belt. And Vince, the reason you don't want to do additional or too many dips. Dips are great. They definitely have their place, but getting to that really what's called terminal extension of your shoulder puts a lot of strain on your bicep tendon. So this is an exercise that we want to do. We don't necessarily want to strap a lot of weight on, but if we do, it's that much more important that we stay in control. So it's very important on this one. I actually have my clients pause for a second at the bottom before they initiate. And what that's going to do is take away any chance of momentum, any chance of lack of control, and really make sure they're using the muscles to contract as opposed to any type of jerk, any type of momentum. So you see a lot of people do this where they kind of go control on the way down and they let themselves drop and then they come back up. So I'm actually going to have Vince come down to the bottom, pause, contract his pecs. We're working chest today. Contract his pecs and then come up. So I've actually challenged Vince that he can't do more than 10 reps doing them properly.
Yeah. All right.
So Vince takes a wide hand position, which is going to allow his hands to stay outside his shoulders.
Lockout at the top?
Nope, no lockout at the top. Come down to the bottom, 4-second negative. Bring your knees in front a little bit. I don't want you to lean quite so far forward. Good, there we go. Good, pause. You can get a little bit deeper. Good, you get a little bit deeper for me, as deep as you can with that elbow. Good, initiate the pec, good. You can see Vince's chest splitting at the bottom because he's keeping the tension there by driving his hands in toward each other. Keep your head up, Vince. Look straight ahead. Good, we want to keep that spine in a safe position. Give me a pause at the bottom. 2-second pause, 1, 2, go. Ah! Come on. Pause, 1, 2, what was that? Come on. Come on. How many was that? How many was that?
That was 12.
I don't think that was 10. I think that was 9.
Was it 12?
Was it 12?
Felt like 9.
I think it was 9.
Well, it was in 10.
Anyway, so you get the idea. So we're getting a nice stretch at the bottom, but it's always under control. So it's a 4-second negative to the point where he feels his chest stretch, feels his chest open. He's actually going to try, very important again with this, to retract your shoulders in the back. You don't want to just let your elbows come up like this. You actually want to let everything pull back. So he's trying to contract the shoulder blades together behind him. Right, and let the elbows come back while squeezing this. That's going to make sure he's stretching the chest and not just the front delt. If Vince were to leave his shoulders forward and let the elbows come back, Way too much stress on the front delt. Interesting. And bicep tendon.
A lot of teaching points there. That's good.
There's a lot of teaching points in everything, so I'm trying to get you guys as much information as we can in a short amount of time. We're gonna overhaul the entire workout. The next point is Vince is really wide because anytime you're doing your chest, you want to make sure you're outside of your shoulders. When you're doing triceps, you want to be in a little bit closer. The reason is out here, it allows you to pull in to create a little more tension in the chest.
All right, see what we got.
Nice controlled negative. Pull the shoulders back. Good, go. Good. Stretch pec. Good. Keep your head up, looking straight ahead. It's 4, 5. Give me a pause at the bottom. No shifting that body weight. Good. Ah! 2. Good. Good. So I want to highly advise against betting your friends if you can make the number of reps. Because as you notice, the last 3 kind of look like Vince was doing the worm. It's kind of going like this. Well, we'll give him the reps and I'll buy lunch. But you want to avoid any type of extraneous body movement. I want to keep your body as stable and stiff as possible and just move what needs to be moving. There's no rocking. There's no momentum. There's no swing. It's down, up, one movement, one plane of movement, and everything.
Down, yeah. It's a whole new way of lifting.
Great work, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's great.
So again, guys, we're doing the whole 4-second negative, 1 second positive. Each set is going to last you exactly 40 seconds, and we're going to rest for 40 seconds. This is the principle I've employed over the last 5 years to get maximum growth, maximum time under tension, and then we're going to do a NOS set. So with this one, obviously a NOS set might be a little more difficult. The way that I actually would do a NOS set is I'd actually put a box on the floor and allow my feet to spot myself. So it's almost like I'm squatting while I'm doing a dip. That takes a lot of mental focus and concentration. Vince had a good point about simply trying to give it your all. Give it your all for that 40 seconds. We're asking for 40 seconds a set. Usually we'll have a stopwatch on you, and you don't stop that set. You don't stop that tension until that 40 seconds is done.
No, I find that a big mistake a lot of guys make is they baby themselves when they train. They're really doing pansy girl workouts. They're just really, really wimpy workouts, and there's no effort. And these 40-second all-out sets remind me of my track days when we would sprint for 200-300 meters at a time, all out. And there was no like breaks at the top or at the bottom. It was non-stop, and you waited until you crossed that finish line to when you would stop. So that 40 seconds has really got me reconnecting back to my running days and that all-out intensity that's required to make progress. So.
And the great thing about it, guys, it gives you a clear-cut goal. Is like, I know my sets are lasting exactly 40 seconds. If I feel like I can do more reps, stop. Stop at 40 seconds and go heavier. It gives you a nice clear-cut goal, right? How long? Well, how many reps should I be doing? Should I be doing 8? Should I be doing 15? Well, I'll tell you what, if you can do 8 reps and make it last exactly 40 seconds, I will guarantee growth.
There you go.
One of the primary focuses of Mass Intention's program is the idea of intention, is to have you come in the gym with intent every day. It's to have a goal, to have a focus, to have an outcome. Okay, so I don't want you coming in the gym and going, oh, well, we're about to do pec crossovers. Well, that's gonna work my biceps a little bit, and that's gonna work my shoulders a little bit. It's not your goal. That's not a good goal. Okay, so what we're doing is every exercise has a specific reason. You can manipulate the variables to maybe work it, this part of the muscle a little bit differently, this part of the muscle a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, you have a specific intent, you have a specific goal in mind. Okay, so we're coming here, we're gonna do pec crossovers. This is to work your pecs. When you come in the gym, you are working chest. You may be working two or three muscle groups today, but at the end of the day, this particular exercise is to work your chest. So you wanna focus on one thing. You wanna focus on elongating, and you wanna focus on contracting your chest. You wanna focus on your chest, that's it. Okay, so here we're gonna have Vince do this properly. We're going to allow you guys to learn the optimal way to maximally lengthen and maximally shorten your chest. So when I speak about, you can't refute this is the best way to do that exercise. When I speak like that, it sounds very arrogant of me, but the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you're trying to lengthen a muscle, you're trying to shorten a muscle. There's one way to do that. There's different angles to do it. There's different, you can manipulate the angle of a bench, but you can't manipulate the function of a muscle. Okay, so I want to shorten a muscle as much as I possibly can to get a maximum contraction. I want to lengthen it as much as I can, so I initiate the contraction process. That's the bottom line between muscle growth and muscle building.
That's it. It's simple.
So Vince is gonna step forward a little bit. So come a little forward. So if you notice right there, when he's in his fully lengthened position, the weight stack is still up. So that means there's gonna be constant tension on his muscle. Vince is, before he moves, he's gonna pull his shoulder blades together in the back. He's gonna have his feet split just for balance purposes, so one in front of the other. So right now, Vince is focused on contracting his back muscles so he elongates his pecs. His abs are gonna be short. Good. And he's gonna come down in front of him and try to straighten his arms at a 45-degree angle again. Squeeze right together. Now with this one, it's okay to come in front of you because the force is still going away from you. Good. Now come down straight elbows, straight lock your elbows in front of you. Good. Lock them here. Good. There you go. Big stretch. Pull the shoulder blades together in the back. Focus. Good. Focus on those pecs. Good. Straighten those elbows. Okay, come down. That's it. That's what I like right there. Good. Oh, man. Keep going. 3 more. Come on, Vince. Constant tension. Give me that 4-second negative. Control it. Control it. Let's go. Negative, negative. Slow it down. Come on. Give me that 4-second negative, Vince. Control, control, control. Pause. Squeeze your back. Initiate with the pec. That's what I want right there. One more. Come on. Good. Rest. Another really important point in this exercise is, do I allow my shoulders to come forward so that I can finish the rep? Do I keep my chest out? Or when I keep my chest out, I can't come all the way in front of me because my chest kind of gets in the way. That's irrelevant. Bringing your shoulders in front of you is going to allow the pec to relax. We want to keep as much tension on that pec as we can. So we're trying to keep our shoulders back the entire rep. And we come, even if, like when my elbows are locked, when I'm doing this exercise, I may only come to here. Because there's tissue in the way. I'm a big guy, there's a lot of rib cage in the way. That's as far as I can get with a locked out elbow. Vince has actually got a little bit of an issue with his left elbow. He can't actually lock it out. So when you see him do it,
Yeah.
if you see, well, he's not locking out his elbow. Well, he is locking out his elbow. He just can't do it. He's got bone chips. So regardless, even if he can't get to that point, he's still trying to lock it out. So those muscles are as long or as short as they could possibly be. So he's still getting maximum pec recruitment.
Ever since you taught me how to get my tricep, like at the bottom when you say lock it out, squeeze your triceps, that one cue, getting my triceps in, I'm like, oh, it's like, wow.
Right.
There's new recruitment I've never felt before.
So really, really easy. I guess that's a great way to remember it, guys, is how do you know that your elbow is fully locked out? Or how, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Well, when I get to about this point, now I'm still squeezing my pec, but now I'm actually squeezing my tricep as well. And then bang. So another point is, yeah, we have Vince doing it down here. That's a great angle. You could continue doing it up here. You continue doing it up here. That doesn't change the exercise. It's exactly the same exercise, just a different angle. Exact same execution, nothing changes. Body position doesn't change. Execution doesn't change. The only thing that's changing is the position of your arms. Let's try it again.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna start the clock. 40 seconds. Shoulders back. Shoulders back. Shoulders back and down. Good. You don't want to elevate too much. Exactly. Come down. As you get to here, we contract the tricep. Keep pulling with the chest. There we go. Good. Excellent. Good. That's what I like. And you can see all the striations come out in Vince's chest. Many of you might not have striations in your chest yet, but if you can see that they're working in this way, chances are that's what's going to develop them. Oh man. Come on. Come on. Let's go. One more. Straighten those elbows for me. Very, very important. Let's go. Stretch it. Shoulders back. Abs are tight. Pull with those elbows. Come on. Straighten. Triceps. Good. That's it. Great focus. Great. So this is one of our best mass appeal exercises. And what this is basically doing is, technically there really isn't any shaping exercises for your chest. You're either stimulating your chest or you're not. But this exercise isn't necessarily going to build mass. This exercise is really about mentally controlling it, mentally learning how to squeeze the muscles. And the more we squeeze the muscle during an exercise, the more it's gonna bring out those fibers. The more it's gonna bring out that separation, which is why we call it shaping exercises, and we don't call it necessarily building exercises, because it's not heavy enough to build a muscle. Muscles are our major muscles, our glutes, our quads, our chest, our back, are big muscles that require a lot of stimulus to grow. So little exercise like this, that we're using 30 pounds, aren't enough stimulus to make that muscle grow. It's like sitting people doing glute kickbacks like this. Much as you see probably every woman in the gym doing it, it's doing absolutely nothing to build your glutes. It may be building mental control, but it's doing absolutely nothing to build your glutes. Forcing some blood in there. Sure, you get a good burn, but it's not building your glutes.
Good thing to know.
Last exercise for building your pecs. I'm a huge advocate of push-ups. Why? Control, because it's your body weight. You can do hundreds of them. It's easy. You can do it when you're on the road. I want to teach you how to do it right.
Push-ups?
Yep. Vince's favorite.
All right. Are we, Ben's taught me so many different things with push-ups I didn't even know existed, and I've been doing this for over 10 years. So I don't know how you want me to move my hands or what we're doing here.
Okay, so I have Vince doing push-ups every day because we're trying to basically improve his entire upper body, and he's getting ready for a contest. So we're going to take his hands slightly wider than shoulder grip, shoulder width. Good. Let's go there. Up. Good. First things first, shoulders back like every other chest exercise. It's going to make sure your pec is in the right position to contract. Come all the way down, chest touches the floor, and up. So that's your basic movement. Vince is a master of that. That's real easy. Notice his back is straight, bum is down. Everything is a straight line. He's not arcing his back at all. Good, keep going. And now the other variables we can manipulate. Full extension Vince, all the way up, all the way down, 4-second negative. Now the other variables we can manipulate with this are what direction we're shoving our hands in. I think yesterday was the first time I had Vince actually try to shove his hands out. Oh yeah. So what that's going to do is shift all the emphasis to the outside, to the back side of your arm, believe it or not. You shift it onto the tricep, onto the rear delt. He actually even felt it in his back. Who says you can do a push-up and train your back?
I'm just fried right now.
So we can apply intention to any type of exercise we do. So we're doing push-ups. We can decide to shove in, which is going to now tense up everything on the inside of my arms all the way into my pecs. We can shove out, which is going to take tension off the inside of my arm and shove it on the outside. So we can manipulate these variables to control the muscles that we're trying to contract. So all I want to teach you guys is that you're always in control. Everything you do, you're thinking about. We can manipulate the variables of every exercise and make it accomplish the goals that we're trying to achieve.
So that would be the fourth mass appeal exercise? So we had
exactly. Okay, cool. So that's it for mass appeal exercise, guys. Those are the 8 exercises that you need to build your pecs.
Honestly, guys, I strongly recommend that for the next 40 days, just trust these exercises. Trust your coach, trust the exercises, trust intentions. Don't look at anything else. Don't get distracted. The only reason you won't be successful at this is broken focus. Get focused on these 8 exercises, put all your effort into them the way that we've gone through them, and you're going to see phenomenal results in these next 40 days.
Guys, if you can commit yourself to 40 seconds in a set, 40 exercises, 40 days, you're going to be training at the level you want to train. You're going to learn how to feel your muscles, and eventually in no time you're going to be training with pros like us.